So we are here right now at Micro Center. This, as you know, I make a lot of videos about shopping at Micro Center. Those of you who know what Micro Center is, basically Micro Center is the new quote-unquote CompUSA. See, you know, Best Buy can't really compete with Micro Center because this place is a straight-up computer specialty store. And for the most price, you know, their prices aren't that bad. I mean, granted, you'll get it cheaper on the internet, but the prices of Micro Center really aren't that bad. I mean, you're going to pay a couple dollars more, but hey, they've got workers, and the simple fact is you get instant gratification. So right now I'm waiting for my buddy to come out, and my question to you is, which one would you prefer? Now, let's say you've got between $70,000 and $80,000 to spend on an all-wheel drive luxury vehicle, and you don't want a Mercedes and you don't want a BMW, you want something different. Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer the Tesla Model S P85D, or would you prefer the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT? Now, the question that I was going to ask you is, how many people really think that the Tesla Model 3 is actually going to cost $35,000? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to cost $35,000. It's not going to be less than $35,000. Even if they try to hit a $35,000 target point, our research and development that goes into that thing, and you have to understand, I'm a stockholder and I've been paying attention to the company since I bought stock in 2012, back when I made that video about the P85. The simple fact of the matter is the research and development is going to cost somebody a lot of money. Tesla's already losing money on every single Model S they sell because these cars are expensive to, you know, research and develop. So ultimately, now they have to come up with an all-new, smaller car using all the information from the data that they've gotten on the battery pack and whatnot from the Model S and the Model X. And the simple fact of the matter is, what's going to happen is the demand is going to be so high for that car that you're not even going to be able to get one of those cars without ridiculous markups. Take a look at right now how they have the Tesla Model X. Tesla Model X is $140,000. So as far as a green car goes, you're not saving the planet with a car that costs that much because Main Street simply can't afford it. But the simple fact of the matter is, as we know, technology does get cheaper as time goes along, but it's going to take so ridiculously long for the technology of these electric cars to get cheaper that what's going to happen ultimately, the Germans, Ford, GM, Chrysler already has a Pacifica coming out that has a plug-in hybrid version, and it's got 80 miles to a gallon. What's going to happen is once all the big companies start releasing their plug-in hybrids and their EVs, Tesla's going to find itself a niche luxury vehicle that, you know, I don't know if they'll ever be able to really dominate the mid-size sedan market. Now, the Model S, as you know, I've made plenty of videos about the P90D, P85D, and this, that, and other. As you know, the Model S is a really good car. The only problem is it stands in a market right now by itself. When the E-Class comes out and it has that plug-in hybrid technology, the E-Class is going to steal Model S sales because the E-Class has an interior that's second to none. I mean, the seats in the Model S, even if you get the next generation seats, the seats are really not that fabulous. They're really not that grand. Now, the Model S succeeds because it's a pretty big car. It's a big, relatively family car where you can put like 5 people in those seats. That middle seat is obviously going to be like a baby seat unless you've got 3 small kids. But the simple fact of the matter is, bigger cars are what the market wants. But the problem is, as these cars get larger, they get more expensive, especially if they're electric vehicles, not using, you know, legacy 4-cylinder technology and turbo 4-cylinder technology. It's always going to cost Tesla more to build a Model 3 than it's going to cost Hyundai to build a Sonata. And the Sonata is a pretty big, spacious car. In fact, the Sonata, when I sit in a Sonata and drive a new Sonata or an Azera, those cars are actually more spacious inside than the Model S. But everybody loves the Model S because of the technology and the green movement and this, that, and other. But my thing is, what Tesla's mistake was canceling that when they first came out, they had a 40 kilowatt hour version. We got an M4 over here. This guy's trying to pull up next to you. Oh, look at that old guy. This guy's got an M5. Oh, shit. So anyway, well, all I'm saying is Tesla should have never canceled the 40 kilowatt hour version because it started out less than $60,000. When I remember that car, I actually thought about buying one of those, but then they canceled it, and then they said the reason why they would cancel it is because it had lack of interest. The problem is, back then, there was no interest in Tesla. There really was no interest in Tesla until they started advertising the P85D. In my opinion, that's smoke and mirrors. What they did was they brought out something that looked like you could afford it, and then once they got your interest, they cancel it. Now the price skyrockets to $70,000 and $80,000, where the average person who's shopping for an Audi A7 might find that a little bit pricey for a car that doesn't have an interior as luxurious as an Audi. But they should have never canceled the Model P, or they should have never canceled the 40 kilowatt hour version. If they had kept that, and they'd kept that in the $60,000 starting range or the $50,000 range, they wouldn't have had so much pressure on them to build a Model 3 and then try to hype it up and talk about how it's going to cost less than $40,000. Because whenever they talk about how a car like that is going to cost less than $40,000, take a look at the Mercedes CLA. They said that this car was supposed to be the cheapest Mercedes ever, blah, 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 but all you get is seats and a steering wheel, and just to get basic luxury equipment, the price quickly goes up $10,000, and you know it's relatively inexpensive still, considering it's a Mercedes badge. But I have to say, they should have never canceled the 40 kilowatt hour version. They should have kept that available for people to buy, and they should have kept it with a supercharger, and then everybody would have been happy, you know. Yeah, but that's how the cookie crumbles.